I'm Allendale's chief meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. Looking very closely at new model runs into us right now, trying to gauge what happens as we finish out this weekend and go into next week across the continental United States. We'll get to international weather in just a little bit, but right now, models are continuing to come around to my thought process, which lifts low pressure out of Texas and takes it farther north and east. We're seeing this low that comes across the central plains and southern plains this weekend, coming down across east and northeast Colorado Friday into Saturday, dipping down into Oklahoma and then hooking northeast, moving into southern parts of Illinois as we go into the Saturday night, early Sunday time frame. And then by the time we get to Sunday night, early Monday, or I guess I should say Sunday evening, the low is sitting just to the south of Cincinnati. So we're seeing it not go all the way northeast, but kind of come toward the Ohio Valley and then curve more east. This is going to be a forecast pattern that brings decent rains areas along and south of the Ohio River, through the deep south and even back into the lower Mississippi Valley. Where it gets interesting is, where is the freezing line and where do we see the snow set up? Right now there's potential for heavier snow from, let's just say, I-70 northward across the Corn Belt, especially Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. And you know what? I'm not sure we're quite done with this track yet. This low may try and pull farther north instead of going and curving east and staying south of Cincinnati. What if it heads more toward Dayton or Columbus? That's what I think we might see here. So very interesting things coming together. What this means is, at least right now, this should spare, talk of seeing another East Coast storm that just comes up the coast. I still think we're probably going to be seeing potential for good, strong snows again in a lot of these same hard-hit areas in New England as we go into the first to middle of next week. But it's not going to be hooking from so far deep. There's plenty of moisture with this. What's also interesting is the amount of cold air that comes in behind. Very impressive. Temperatures struggling to hit the zero mark at times. And we're not done there. We're going to be seeing another system try and work across the country, a Clipper-like system at midweek next week. Has a chance of putting down some decent snows. And then I'm actually seeing yet another low-pressure area probably trying to come together in the extended forecast period out of some moisture that goes into the Pacific Northwest. Could have a very similar track as you head toward like the 10th, 11th, and 12th. So very active weather coming at us here across the United States, and everything kicks off this weekend. So pay attention to that. Temperatures across the central and southern plains today, a far cry from yesterday when the upper 70s and 80s were easily seen. We're a good 20 degrees cooler today, probably another 20 degrees cooler tomorrow, and all told, by the time we get into the highs for Sunday out in the wheat areas out there, we're probably looking at 50 to 60 degrees cooler. However, it's not just a one-day deal. It's a slow pullback, so right now we don't think this has much of an impact on wheat overall. Let's talk about the South American forecast. Honestly, there's not a lot of change here, and there's more and more talk out across the marketplace, at least, that weather in South America within the next couple of weeks just flat out won't matter. I guess I'll have to agree with that. We do have scattered moisture that's going to be working across Brazil's soybean areas over the next week to 2 weeks. At least this first week or the next 6 days, I kind of like it along the southern rim of the soy areas. So let's just say from extreme western parts of Mato Grosso down through Mato Grosso do Sul and even into some of those heavier corn areas down into Paraná. I like it there to start. 1/2 to 1 inch totals, and then we see it more spread across northern and even northeastern areas as we go through the middle part of the forecast period. The extended window still has several strong fronts that we are in the we'll believe it when we see it camp. Argentina looks real nice going forward. Corn areas picking up some good moisture there. Don't think there's any reason to change our forecast thought process. However, we are going to continue to watch for some hotter temperatures in the western part of Argentina corn areas, western Cordoba. We're going to watch that very closely, as it does seem as though we've been above normal the past couple of days, and the pattern doesn't really want to change temperature-wise until we get done with this weekend and into early next week. So that's what we've got overall. No significant issues. But we're definitely going to get jerked back to reality here across the continental United States in the week ahead or so. If you've got any questions on the weather, feel free to give us a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.